And we don't want unhappy people. Okay. Yay, let's begin.
Yay! All right, I'm quiet today for some reason. Okay, so today, what is today about, Chris? What are we doing today?
We are embodying the Empress.
Woo!
And talking about Morgan Le Fay, your girl, and all our girls, but you know, the Lady of Avalon, who we're honoring today.
Mm-hmm. Super cool. So, Chris is going to talk about this a lot later, but we're feeling into the archetype of the sovereign in our lives and in our business, and specifically using Morgan Le Fay as kind of an inspiration because she's awesome. So we're going to start our adventure today. I have special talking today, so you're going to have to all bear with me. We're going to start our adventure today, and we're going to do a little opening, grounding, and prayer. Then we're going to talk about, I've got my wrong notes, we're going to talk about Morgan Le Fay and her sovereign role and how she is important for us entrepreneurs and witchy priestess women, who so much of our life is about uncovering who we are and what we need to embody in the world, and that's like Morgana to a T. And then Chris is going to lead us in an amazing Empress, I nearly said Emperor, for shame, Empress activation, and it's going to be the bomber. So I'm going to calm down a little bit, and we're like today, and we're going to ground and center and do a little opening ritual. Are we ready? Okay, I'm hot. We're gonna take a big breath in. We're gonna take a big breath in and relax. We're gonna roll our shoulders down our back. We're gonna do this a few times. We're gonna take another breath in. And another breath. And one more. We're going to imagine a pebble dropping through our body into a pool in our womb space. And as it hits the pool, it sends quiet ripples across the horizon. Hopefully that makes sense. So we have this feeling of this pebble sinking deeper and deeper and deeper. Imagining the ripples on this body of water, calming us, slowing us down. With our feet on the floor, we root into the earth beneath us, knowing that through our connection with the land that we are sitting or standing upon, we are connected to everything in our vicinity. We are connected to the trees in our gardens, the skyscrapers down the road, the horses in the fields, everything that is near us. So I want you to imagine what your landscape around you looks like. And pick an object in that landscape. It could be a tree, or a fence, or a house, or a bush. And know that you're connected to it through the earth, that you and it are the same. And feel into your connection with your surrounding landscape. We're going to bring that awareness back into our bodies, breathing in, feeling rooted to the earth around us. We're going to roll our shoulders back. And we're going to shake our head a little bit, loosening up our neck. Gently rolling from side to side. As we breathe in and send our awareness upwards, up into the sky above us, into the feeling of freedom, into the feeling of being outside of our everyday tiny human worries and into something vaster, into something more celestial, into something more infinite. Through our connection with the earth, we are connected in with what is, and by our connection with the sky, we are connected with the infinite, with everything that is. We're breathing that star galaxy knowledge in. And placing our hand on our heart. And feeling into the stillness. This wakefulness. This happy emptiness. Feeling that we are a vessel for presence. We are an open chalice, empty, ready to receive the blessings of the goddess, ready to receive the wisdom of Morgana. Imagine at your heart the bowl of a beautiful silver chalice, empty yet overflowing with the presence of the divine. We call on Morgana le Fay, Queen of Avalon, Lady of the Twilight, Goddess of mystery and transformation, she who is the chalice bearer, she who asks us to drink deep of the knowledge of the sacred feminine, she who asks us to drink deep of her mysteries of silence and stillness, she who asks us to drink deep of insight and knowing. For she is the high priestess who holds the knowledge that is veiled. She is the initiatrix and the one who tempts us between the worlds. She is the one who challenges us, who forces us to confront ourselves and our true desires and asks us, who are you not to do that? How dare you not take the path that I set for you? She asks us to go ever deeper, and we breathe in her violet mystery, her sapphire blue, her silver. She who is the Queen of Avalon. We ask you to be with us today and help us connect with our own strength and power, with our own Empress. Blessed be.
Blessed be.
So, I think I talk now. Let me check.
Yes, can I light my candle?
Light your candle. I have about 4 already lit around.
All right. I will light mine. And I guess anybody else who has one. It's a good reminder that we're in ritual time. It's all you. I'm going to mute myself in case the dogs start barking.
Okay, cool. So today we're talking about embodying the Empress, and through, one of the things, so me and Chris, you might not know this, but we're doing this amazing retreat called Spellbound, which is all about business and branding and magic, and it's set in Glastonbury. And part of the reason for that was because we're both so connected with Morgan Le Fay, and a lot of the work that we're asked to do is as badasses, as entrepreneurs, it tends to be a lot of, it's kind of the ultimate challenge, right? You're creating this thing that you're passionate about, and you have to confront everything that you are every single day and go through immense highs and immense lows. And I don't know why any of us choose to do this, but we do. And for me, stepping into this phase as a, I'm sorry, I'm very blah blah today. What do I need to say? Stepping into our power. Okay, starting again. For me, when we're talking about embodying the sovereign, embodying the empress, embodying this powerful feminine queen energy, I think of Morgan Le Fay. She is an incredibly mysterious goddess. There are so many different stories about her, and dude, not all of them are good. Most of them are pretty terrible. And she has this incredibly feminine, mysterious quality about her. One of the things about the feminine is that it is unknowable and changeable and mysterious, and we can't grasp everything that the divine feminine is in one go, just like we can't grasp everything that a woman is in one go. There are so many different facets, and Morgan Le Fay embodies that so powerfully through her so many conflicting qualities. She's a healer. She's the woman who took King Arthur to be healed in Avalon. She's the woman who could do magic potions to help heal anybody in the land. But she also spent a lot of time using her magic to, in the stories, to mess people over, to be the initiator, play the trickster role, and act as the conflict that the heroes needed to get through in their journeys, and also just be a massive douche, and also try and find a way. And this is the thing that really stands out to me in her stories and mythology. She was not happy with the idea that as a woman she couldn't have any power. And in every single story, no matter how douchey Morgan Le Fay is, in the original Arthurian stories, there is no way anyone is taking her power from her, and she will do anything that it takes for her to feel and be in a space of power, to be respected in some way. And I find that fascinating, and I find that very interesting from a entrepreneurial point of view in my world, because she's so much about reclaiming power on her own terms and reclaiming who she is and not letting anyone take that away from her. I dig that. If we put aside all the old Arthurian stories where she's like, oh, this coat's going to destroy your children, I'll enchant this so that your whole family dies. If we put aside all those things and we think about her, how she is nowadays archetypally, she's very much a goddess who initiates. She's an initiatrix. So many of us have this incredible connection and calling with Avalon because she's been the one who sat behind the mists and in the twilight going, something here is for you, you've got to come and investigate this. And that's part of her feminine magic, and that's part of her, the way that she is a queen, but she's very feminine. She seduces, she beguiles, she draws you in. You don't quite know why, but she's getting you with this feeling. And as an empress, in her role as the Queen of Avalon, she rules this vast kingdom of the other world, and she's the head bitch, man. She has so many different names, so many different faces that people know her as, and she interchanges with so many people. Sometimes she's the Lady of the Lake, sometimes she's just a girl, sometimes she's a fairy queen, sometimes she's just a big badass queen, sometimes she's a princess, sometimes she's Vivienne, sometimes she's Nimue. And in all those different roles, she's bringing herself to all of those things, and yet she is this queen that governs this intangible realm of feminine magic. she's not going to let anybody take her power. She's not going to stand for that, but she's going to do it in this incredibly individual, seductive, feminine way. Hopefully that makes sense. It's when we think about the Empress and the Emperor and ways to embody this powerful leadership, ruling a kingdom energy, we often have this very masculine view of how to do that, this very kind of Jupiter emperor kind of view. And when we shift it and we think about Empress and we think about Morgan Le Fay as our sovereign superhero, as our guide who's going to keep asking us to push deeper and really understand what our passions are, no matter what it takes, who's always there challenging us to really understand what it is we are passionate about, understand what it is that's important to us, and she's going to make us do it. And it's not going to be nice, because she's not going to pretend to you at any point that everything's meant to be beautiful and fine, because it's not. And you all know this because you're all badass business people as well. This job that we do is fucking difficult. And we've all been through absolutely insane revelations and changes and understandings through this initiatory path of being a fucking weirdo who wants to be an entrepreneur and create a living out of whatever it is they love. And Morgan's the one who's tempting us down that path and telling us, you got to keep going, you've got to look deeper. That's not very integral now, is it? You have to be more authentic. You can't hide from this. And that's why Morgan Le Fay is my hero in everything. And for me, when I think about sovereignty, I want a superhero who's not going to be perfect, who's going to be there for the dark stuff and not, how do I say it? I want a superhero role model who's not going to judge because stuff gets dark or hard sometimes. I want someone who's magical but also incredibly practical and real. Because as the goddess of Avalon, I promise I'm going to shut up in a minute. As the goddess of Avalon, part of her thing is she's the guardian of the liminal realm and the physical realm. She mans that boundary so she can bring stuff through this other world into the reality, and she can take stuff from our everyday reality into the physical world. She is that boundary. So especially with those of us who are very passionate, and a lot of us do weird stuff that doesn't really make sense, like tarot readers and priestesses and weird, like, talky things that aren't things that you can do in a everyday archetype, everyday patriarchal kind of, oh, I'm going to apply for this job as a cash clerk priestess. It doesn't fit in that thing. So it's all very liminal. It's all bringing this other world through all the time. That's what she's guardian of. Morgan Le Fay.
Okay, I had to unmute myself. Awesome, thank you. Yeah, the Morgan Le Fay that most of us learned about through media was a very power-hungry, evil. The patriarchy depicts her as evil because, again, anything that's dark and authentic and feminine is evil, right? In that system.
Any woman that wants power is evil.
Yeah, well, especially a woman.
Yeah.
Well, women aren't supposed to have power, right? So I feel like the past 20 years especially, there's been, the rise of the divine feminine kind of always peaks at us over time, but I feel like the last 20 years we've seen, one of the reasons why I went to Glastonbury was because I read the book, The Mists of Avalon, and it was like such a revelation to hear those stories, because I always loved the Arthurian legends, but I'd never imagined them from the point of view of the feminine, the female characters, and how different that story would be. And it was like, it really so I read the book, and then I ended up doing a search on Google. I just said, oh, Sacred Journeys for Women to Glastonbury. And literally there was a name of a company called Sacred Journeys for Women, and they were doing a thing called the Mists of Avalon tour to Glastonbury and Bath and Cornwall and all these different, Tintagel, all these different sites. It was a 2-week tour. It was $4,000, and I just pulled out my credit card so fast. Signed up. It was, yeah. After that, I had found my PhD program in mythological studies, and that's where I really started to go into this idea of how we tell our stories changes the paradigm we live in. It can change the paradigm for other people as well. So Morgan is so powerful, as are all our beloved goddesses. And so with that, I'm going to talk a little bit out. Should I just go into my spiel?
Go!
Okay. So the spiel that I'm going to do today is more on the business and branding. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Empress archetype. Then we'll do this activation that I love. And then we'll do some prompts to kind of help you get into some brand action. Okay. So I love talking about the Empress archetype and using her in our branding. So when you see, once we do the activation, you just feel when you embody that energy, you feel so nurtured, you feel powerful, and you feel really grounded. So this again is just a primer. And, in the Glastonbury retreat that we're doing, my activation, it's a half hour, sometimes longer, because we'll activate 9 different archetypes, including the Empress. So this kind of gives you just a little taste of what that work is for me. And the one other thing that I do want to talk about before I go into the activation is the difference between the Queen archetype and the Empress archetype. They're very subtle, different flavors, and they're both sovereigns. They're both important. They're both completely necessary for our own psychic and psychological balance, for our magical balance, our physical balance. So the Queen's main function in our psyches and in our business is to protect and uphold the vision. So the last meeting we had, some of you were there, we did an amazing visioning with the new moon solar eclipse. And that was very much a queen mixed with some high priestess archetype, obviously. So the vision for your business and for your life is under the domain of the Queen. And the Queen archetype is central for women. She's the regulator, the balancer, literally the balancer of all the other archetypes. And there's a multitude. We can't even count how many archetypes there are. And they're all clamoring to be heard. So they're like her subjects. And she lovingly puts them in order. So you could think of her being like at the hub of a wheel. And all the other archetypes are circulating in a balanced way when we step into our queen power. It's a very important archetype for women. The men have the king, so that's a separate class, and we obviously honor the masculine too here, especially the sacred, healthy masculine. What else do I want to say? So, of course, Morgan of Avalon is the perfect example of the Queen, and so let's go to the Empress. So Morgan also has the qualities of Empress too. And here's why. So the main function of the Empress is nurturing the vision so that it takes root on the physical plane. The Empress, again, we'll get really deeply more into this in the retreat, but it's about nurturing and birthing something new. So she's all about self-care, nurturing yourself, and about nurturing your creations, right? And what I like to say about the Empress is she is the bridge between heaven and earth. The Empress is a magnetic attractor and a creatrix. She takes the Queen's vision and gives it strong roots like an oak tree. So imagine that she like waters the vision with her deep love, with her emotions. Think of her as the earthly Venus. She's very connected also to heaven and to the star realm in particular. The star is another archetype, and in the retreat, we'll see how they all work together in such a beautiful, orchestrated way. So today we're in a waxing moon cycle. So it's perfect time to grow our visions and to prepare for celebration with the full moon. And so again, I mean, as I was thinking about this, I'm just realizing now that, as the full moon is like a pregnant belly. And if we look at tarot and many works of art from different religions and cultures around the world that show the Empress archetype, she's always fully pregnant. And she's always shown like at the end of her 8th month of pregnancy. She's like ready. She's like ripe and almost ready to just burst and give birth to the fruit of her labor. So what I do in my own work, besides the teaching of the practical and getting you to write and, what's the right word? To write and communicate that beautiful core message that's inside you that like weaves together all of your own archetypes and world, is through the chakras. So we invite the energy of the cosmos and the earth into the chakras, and we're inviting the archetypes into the chakras that match or correspond. And of course, everybody has their own correspondence for the chakras. So we are going to do the Empress activation now, and really what we are doing is bringing her in through our 8th chakra. Most people have worked more with numbers 1 through 7. So the 8th chakra is like the first chakra that's beyond the human physical sphere. And it's a spiritual center that basically moves your soul template beyond the earth planet sphere and connects to the place where your higher self or your soul star begins its journey into kind of that eternal cosmos, the infinite. So some say that it's also the container of karmic residue, and it's considered the very first of the spiritual chakras, and there are 4 others beyond it. In the Avalon retreat, we will work up actually to one more, to the 9th chakra, which I'm not going to touch here, but is very connected to Morgan Le Fay. So the 8th chakra, 8 is the number of power, infinity, prosperity, the great mystery. So it's really inviting in these qualities of the archetype of the Empress. So we could think of her as the soul of earth herself, that opens herself into the soul star. She pours forth infinite grace, blessings, beauty, and harmony. Her body is the earth and her crown is made of the stars. Like we think of the crown of Inanna, or of Ishtar, I think has star crown as well. Both, are queen, sovereign archetypes. So we could see that, once we move up into the crown chakra and above, we're looking at that sovereignty aspect of ourselves. And we're going to bring that into our businesses. So please close your eyes, and I want you to begin to settle in. And Demi did a beautiful job of us connecting. So we don't need to ground ourselves. I feel like we're grounded. You might want to take a nice deep breath in, all the way down into the cauldron, deep in the pelvis cauldron, that beautiful, bubbling, delicious place where everything is created within you. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to help you run some energy through the central channel of all your chakras. So we ignite and light all of them before we go to the 8th chakra. So I want you to imagine a beautiful, bright star, pure white light with some flecks of gold in it, and it's floating about a foot above your head. And it's starting to shower down this light on you. This is your soul star, and it's sending light directly into your crown chakra. And I want you to see that crown chakra just blowing up, getting bigger, getting activated, getting excited. It's spinning and it's scintillating and it's vibrating. And I want you to bring that light down from the crown chakra into your brow, third eye chakra. That beautiful indigo blue where that high priestess in you lives. And just see that again, growing brighter and vibrating and just getting fed by this beautiful light. And we're going down to the throat chakra, this beautiful turquoise sphere of light, and just see it again, vibrating at a high rate, feeling happy, feeling like it's waking up. And the white light goes down into your heart chakra, that emerald green. Breathing into it and sending that light out all around you, that big heart light. Seeing that heart chakra happy and vibrating as that light moves down into your solar plexus chakra. It's called Manipura, the lustrous gem. It is a beautiful golden yellow, and it's bright like the sun, giving you confidence, revitalizing you. You feel that energy flow just like I feel it going into my kidneys. It's like I haven't been sleeping well, so the adrenals, and I've been drinking coffee and all that stuff, and it's like it's going right to my adrenal glands going, we're going to help you guys, you're a little wilted. So you see that energy going to a part of you that feels wilted in your body. Just let that energy go where it needs to go. It's healing you. And that beautiful white soul starlight now goes down just below your navel to your sacral chakra, the orange honey dripping with goodness and pleasure, activating what feels so good in your body, what feels so delicious to you. The enjoyment of a delicious meal that we're going to have after we're done with this. And maybe even the feel of that glass of water when you have to drink water today to really flush your system. The sacral chakra is ruled by the element of water. That flow, being in that flow and drinking water and loving that feeling of the moisture running down your throat, and that it's cleansing your body, cleansing all your energy systems so you can be fully integrated with your Empress self. And now see this beautiful white light, the soul star of you, feeding your base chakra. It's red like a garnet. It's deep red, or like a ruby. It's so brilliant and clear and red, and it's your life force. It's your prosperity, because you are prosperous. You are open to even more abundance because you feel safe in your body and you love your body. So go ahead and breathe that in. And now I want you to just shoot that soul star energy down your feet and down to the center of Mother Gaia, where it connects with her beating heart, that molten lava core in the center. And that's her heart. And you just feel like you're in rhythm with her already. So she just sends up her beautiful earth star energy up through your feet, up through all those chakras, through your body, and now it's rising to the top, to your crown chakra, and it's shooting straight up into your soul star. And just beneath your soul star is a beautiful chakra that maybe you've never played with before, and it is the house of the Empress. It's a beautiful sphere of light that is violet with emerald green bands running through it. It almost looks like a beautiful planet with all these different bands of green light, and then this beautiful iridescent violet, and it's all melting together and flowing together. So I want you to be here right now with that chakra, the beauty of it. And I'm going to give you, as your eyes are closed and as you're in this state, a clearing phrase and a magical incantation. And the clearing phrase, what it does is it helps open this chakra, especially if it's new to you. So the clearing phrase is I connect. So we're going to say it together 3 times. I connect. I connect. I connect. Feeling connected to the 8th chakra, the chakra of the Empress. And allow the light from this 8th chakra to pour down now into your 7th chakra just below. Actually, it's more about like 6, 7, 8 inches below at the top of your head. You're starting to absorb this energy into your crown chakra. It's permeating every cell of your body. It's permeating the aura around your body. It's beautiful violet, iridescent light with pieces of green mixing and flowing together. Now I'm going to give you a magical incantation. And this is the incantation that will anchor in this 8th chakra, Empress archetype energy. And here it is. I am the bridge, the direct pathway that opens earth to heaven and heaven to earth. I pour forth blessings you've not yet even imagined. I am the bridge, the direct pathway that opens earth to heaven and heaven to earth. I pour forth blessings you've not even imagined. I am the bridge, the direct pathway that opens earth to heaven and heaven to earth. I pour forth blessings you've not even imagined. And now I'm going to mute myself, and I'm going to give us a moment of silence to integrate the activation. So just keep breathing deeply and allowing this energy and this activation to anchor in. Okay, so when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes, and you may want to have a sip of water and then grab your notebooks, because we are going to jump right into some prompts. Now that we're in this amazing, juicy state. How are you feeling, Demi? Did I mute you? I can unmute you, sorry. Because I would like you to talk.
That was lovely. It's like, have no words.
Yeah. Well,
it's really interesting about so many things about the Empress archetype, as you said it, and about the Queen. Like in the Babylonian tradition I was trained in, we have the 8 spokes of the wheel, and in the way I've kind of hacked it, we kind of 8 different aspects of Morgan Le Fay, and in the middle is the Queen of Avalon, Morgan, the Queen of Avalon, the shapeshifter who balances all these different aspects. So that was really interesting. And the purple and the green Empress. You're wearing purple and green, just noticed. It just feels like this incredibly powerful combination of this fairy like nurturing green earth energy and this visionary, the purple vision and the green.
That's a beautiful way of saying it. Yeah, the nurturing of the vision. Yeah, because the Empress has that energy of mothering, but she's the pregnant mother.
And the idea of being, what is it you said? She waters the vision with her deep love. That really got me, with the idea that part of what the purpose of having these amazing ideas and businesses is to nurture them with love, rather than just struggle with them or fall into like hustling or all those other things. There's something beautiful that we're creating, and I feel like, I know I forget that a lot in my journey.
It's easy to do. So if anyone wants to, we probably will have some time at the end to share our experiences, but you're also welcome to type in the chat box. I see that we've got, I think Rose said, thank you to Demi, a great way to understand Morgana energy. That was wonderful. That was like the perfect introduction to what we're about, which is that, you know, it's not always about the light. And I think, you know, when we get into kind of the more new age consciousness, a lot is about the light, and we don't talk about the illumination of the dark and that fertilization that happens in the dark and in silence and in the not knowing. You know, there's a lot, is an invitation. Morgana is an invitation into that too, which I love. And Elizabeth said, it was interesting to see how each chakra was responding. And when I said, I connect, I felt a sensation on my back like I was being touched that was powerful. Yeah, I'm going to try to remember when I email out the video, to email you out the I connect and then the magical incantation. I would continue to do that, especially as you're anchoring in the energy. It will really help. Okay. So let's do some writing. And for those of you that have worked with me, you know that I am the gatekeeper of time. I don't give you, especially today, you're not going to get a lot of time to think about these things, like 1 minute at the most. And then, just think of this as like a warm-up exercise. And what's great about doing things in this way is that you don't have time to critique your ideas or what's coming out of you. You don't have time to correct them and be a good girl and do what you think you're supposed to write on the paper and all that bullshit. So this kind of makes you bypass that whole crap. Okay, so I'm going to give you 1 minute. So I want you to close your eyes and remember a time when you were involved in something. It could be a passion project. It could be when you were with someone that you love deeply. It could be your favorite childhood memory, or like when you were working with the client and you just felt like, oh my God, I just helped this person and it was so easy and beautiful. You know, so whatever it was, you were so deeply involved that time stopped. So what I want you to do is imagine that in your mind and then take a moment to experience that feeling in your body and breathe into it and let it grow. Okay, so put pen to paper and I'm going to time you for a minute and I want you to write down words and phrases that paint a picture of those feelings that you just felt. You only have, now you have 56 seconds. Just write, allow these words to flow out of you, the phrases to flow out. Okay, time's up. Did you get at least a word or two? Okay. So we're going to move on. So for today, for this moment, these are your brand passion words. So I like to think of your brand of passion or your brand of pleasure as those words and images that immediately bring you into presence, that immediately put you in your body, right? The sensation. So what can you use these words for? So I had been using this, different methods to come up with what I would call a sizzle file. So I use these words and phrases in my copy for websites, for emails, blog posts, and as titles of the offerings that I use to call in my dream clients and customers. So you can use those words like a magical charm. They're like your incantation. They're your spell, right? So what I do is I keep my sizzle file in my Google Docs, and then I also have a Pinterest page where that's actually, I call it my sizzle file, and it's private. All the things I love that turn me on, and some of those things are not necessarily for the uninitiated eyes, such as children and whatnot. So I keep it private to myself, and that way I don't feel like in any way inhibited to write those words down and find the images that evoke those words and feelings. So this is the next part. I want you to think about one place or an aspect of your business where you're playing small. And I'm just going to throw out some examples. It could be undercharging. It could be not charging at all, like giving away too much for free. It could be knowing you really wanted to offer this class or create this project or this piece of art, and for some reason you keep procrastinating and doing other stuff for other people that, or stuff that feels safe. So I want you to write down as many as you can think of. And I'm going to time you again for a minute. So go ahead and start. Okay, time's up. All right. So now what I want you to do, this is kind of a little bit part of our ritual, is I want you to X out these things. You know, maybe you put one big X down it or you zigzag over it, just like, and then what I want you to do is write the word no in big letters, either over each thing you wrote down or just over the whole damn thing. Just write the word no. So this is kind of again, starting to embody what this Empress energy is, and also some of that Queen energy. But the Empress energy is like, the Queen is definitely a boundary keeper. So the Queen in you is basically saying, hell no, not anymore. And so now the Empress is free to take those things and make them into new habits or new ways of being that embody your own Empress, that nurture you, that nurture your business. Okay? So take one of those ideas. You could do more of them later when we're done, but let's just do one now. And what I'd like you to do is, we're going to help you with your brand passion words to take action in your business to eradicate this old pattern, you know, that you don't want and that you said no to. And the best way to do that is to replace a bad habit with something positive. So now, where you used to play small on, you know, this one thing that you've chosen, I'd like you to write down an I am statement followed by a positive action. So these are actions you can take to play big in this area and incorporate your passion words that you came up with. So, for example, one of my words was golden. It's a big brand word for me. It's a passion word for the year. So one way I can use this is, I am golden and I charge the perfect amounts that bring me massive wealth and give my clients massive value. So it's like, take one of your passion words, maybe that feels like just like so awesome and powerful for you right now, so juicy, and use that in an I am statement. So it could be, I am radiant, I am sensual, I am passionate, I am beautiful, I am love, I am peace, I am abundance, whatever it is. So write down an I am and then use your passion word. I don't think you need a whole minute for this one. Okay, so after the I am statement, now you add the action. That is the opposite of playing small in that instance that you have decided to work with. So for me, I put, and I blank. So, and I do something, something, something. So what you don't want to say is like, I am golden and I no longer undercharge. The universe doesn't understand no in the sense of when you put out declaration. So instead of saying, I no longer undercharge, say, I charge the perfect amounts that bring me massive wealth, or whatever it is. Do you get what I'm saying? I think that makes sense. And then if you want to, when you're done, I'm going to give you a minute to do this. Type in the chat box at least one of your I am statements with your brand action step that you're taking today. Okay, time is up. Okay, this is Rose, I think. Yeah. I am powerful and I easily create online offerings that bring me great wealth and offer great value to my clients. Woohoo! And so be it. Yes, you are powerful and you easily create online offerings that bring you great wealth and offer great value to your clients. Does anybody else want to be mirrored? Feel free. Demi, what did you write down?
I wrote down, I am love. No, I am intimacy, and I book a venue for my priestess retreat. Because I have
intimacy.
Mm-hmm.
And what was afterwards?
I book a venue for my priestess retreat.
I am intimacy, and I book a venue for my priestess retreat. So what kind of venue? Let's get
Chalice frickin' well.
Okay. Let's be specific, right? Let's ask for what we want.
True story.
Okay. So you are intimacy, and you book Chalice well for your priestess retreat, easily and with grace. You are intimacy, and you book Chalice well for your priestess retreat with ease and grace. Woohoo! And so be it. Magical one. Okay. Any more? Rose says, "Go, Demi. I'm so coming to Chalice well."
Oh my God. It's one of those visions which I've been too terrified to do anything about because it's so big.
Of course, but you're playing big now. Okay, so Elizabeth sent one. I am radiant and I host amazingly successful, lovely events. Elizabeth, you are radiant and you host amazingly successful, lovely events. You are radiant and you host amazingly successful, lovely events. So be it. Woohoo! And we're celebrating Elizabeth. I'm doing my sparkly hands, whatever that means. Yeah, I'm crazy. All right, so Karen has one. I am iridescent and my passion for painting is attracting money to play with. Ooh, Karen, you are iridescent and your passion for painting is attracting money to play with. You are iridescent and your passion for painting is attracting money to play with. So be it, and so it is. I can do my sparkly hands and do my sparkly dance. Okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about Glastonbury because I think some of you on the call are actually already registered. So yay. If you guys have questions, you could put them in the chat box. But I think this kind of gave you a very small flavor of what kind of play we'll be doing. What would you like to say about it? Miss Demi, anything?
Me, other than it's going to be the best and I'm so excited. So, where's my notes? Spellbound is us in Glastonbury playing, doing ritual, playing with archetypes and branding and using this magical place, this Morgan Le Fay kingdom where there is this just rift in the I wasn't a hippie. I'm the most skeptical hippie. I fight every step of my hippie journey. But Glastonbury is this place where just the other world comes through and inspires people and inspires every single religion, every single set of devotees. Everyone's got a claim on that place. And it's this place of bringing this other world, this vision, this intangible stuff into reality. So we're going into this Glastonbury place and we're going into this beautiful goddess house room, and it's all red and it's just delicious and soft furry things to lie upon and chocolate. And we're going to be coming into this amazing place where we can priestess our way into we actually want to fucking do, and what we truly want to do, and how we can actually take action to make that happen. Because with a lot of hippie folk, there's a tendency to stay in the vision. And my witchy teacher, Carolyn Elliott, she's the bomb. She talks a lot about spiritual peeps getting stuck in the upper chakras, and they're sending a lot of their spiritual jizz and their spiritual vision. They're just getting when to make things manifest, it has to go downwards into like the womb and then come out into the world again. So we're going to this amazing place to learn about business and what we are, and discover who we are in business, and come into our Empress and our Queen, and figuring out what archetypes get us really turned on and how we're going to play with that. And then we're going to support all of that with intense amounts of ritual and magical stuff, and walking on the sacred landscape and doing drumming rituals and anointing and sacredifying every single moment. And it's just going to be amazing. I'm so excited. I half wish I wasn't doing it, just so that I could just go and take it myself.
Lovely. Yes. So we'll be doing a lot of writing, because that's part of what we're going to be doing. So I'm like everybody who's registered, they got a questionnaire about where they are in their businesses. And then even though once you get to Glastonbury, I mean, so much opens up for you. I mean, I know that's happened for me. I have so many stories. But what we'll do is, by the time you get there, you will have chosen perhaps a project to work on, or maybe you bring 2 or 3, and then you can decide, after you get more into the ritual and get connected to the energy of Glastonbury and hear your own inner wisdom speaking to you even clearer, because you're in that sacred landscape and you're in that amazing, powerful vortex of Glastonbury and Avalon. Stuff will come through. So basically, Demi and I are kind of midwifing you into creating something you can physically, tangibly use in your business. It might be website copy, it might be an email nurturing series, it may be your next retreat or event that you want to plan. And then, you're going to have time there'll be times where you can just write, and then I will kind of go from person to person and, give feedback, see how I can help if you feel blocked in any way, or just need a little bit of jolt of, inspiration to get those ideas out there. So that's the idea of this, what I think is going to be super powerful retreat weekend. And I can't wait to see some of you there, and I can't wait to commune with my Demi again. I got to meet her for the first time and hug her in May of this year when I was in the UK. So lucky me, I get to go to the UK, one of my favorite places in the world, again in a month.
Oh my goodness.
So blessings to all of you lovely ladies who came today. We're going to end and close out our ritual time together. Any final words you want to impart, beautiful, wise one?
Okay. Settling in to our bodies and into this amazing Empress activation we have received today. Putting our hands on our heart and taking a minute to feel into that energy as it runs through us. Feeling what's happened in this last hour together. And saying a prayer to allow this Empress energy into our lives to help us to play bigger, to have faith, to nurture our vision and love it into reality. We give thanks to Morgan Le Fay for being such a badass inspiration, for being the guardian of the realms between the physical and the liminal. She who initiates us and has taken us all on this powerful journey of self-discovery, authenticity and finding what it is we need to do in the world to be of service. And that's basically the definition of a priestess, to find out what it is you need to do to be of service. And everybody has their own thing that they're kind of here to do, and we're just here to create that vision and love it into reality.
Perfect. Thank you, beautiful. So everybody, don't forget to drink plenty of water today because of the clearing and the activation for your 8th chakra. And yeah, if you have questions about the retreat, please email us, let us know, and hope to see you there in a month. I can't wait. Oh my gosh. Okay, love and blessings to you all. Thank you again. Bye, Demi. See you soon.
Bye, everyone.
My beautiful sister. Okay, now I've got to turn off. Where's the recording button? Oh my goodness. Oh, there it is. They moved it, I swear.